What's up, guys? It's Dwayne from mountainbuck.com, and today I'm going to show you how I built this awesome hunting shack out of 2 IBC totes for super cheap. Now, I built this thing a few years ago, but it's held up for me year after year. In fact, last season I harvested this beautiful 8-point buck from it. So this video is a little bit old, so it's a little sloppy. It's before I had a YouTube channel, so bear with me, but I thought it was important enough to share. Speaking of YouTube, please hook me up, hit subscribe right now. Let's check this out.
Alright, so what we got here is basically it's going to be the top portion of our blind. The bottom here is a little messed up. If I flip this thing up, you'd see the bottom's a little jacked up. So we're going to cut probably right under here, all the way across, and then we'll use the top portion for the top part of our blind. First, I don't have the tool to get in here and get these things out, so I'm going to have to cut these two top posts out with the jigsaw. So I'm going to bust that bad boy out right now and wake up the neighbors.
I'm a very visual guy, so sometimes I mark up my images with what I plan on doing or sketch them out. Here you can see my plans for the top section and the bottom section of the blind. So I kind of figured this out well before I actually cut into anything.
Alright, so we got the two cross beams off the top. I'm going to flip this bad boy over and get the plastic part out. So we've taken the plastic tote out, and now we're going to take out the bottom two sections of metal. So we're going to cut all the way around, and this will be our top. So there we have it. The top piece is all set. Off to the side. Now I'm going to work on getting this plastic part cut out. As you can see, I put a little line with a Sharpie around where I want to make the cut. So that's coming up next. So now we have the top off of the bottom piece. We're using this one as the bottom. That guy over there is going to be the top. And there's the top of a plastic ready to go. So that's the idea. We have the top and bottom together. Just kind of have to cut the windows out and get the plastic in. Cut the windows out of the plastic. Slap this thing together. So just threw both pieces together. Cut out the windows, so I got windows, you know, all the way around, nice big windows, so I can view all the action. So I guess next I'll work on getting the plastic stuff in there.
All I did here was overlap the two plastic containers and fasten them together with some screws and wing nuts and things like that, just to keep it nice and tight.
Alright, so we're getting a little more work done here. We've done some paint. Put little brackets on here to kind of secure this thing up a little bit. So we put the brackets on, bolted this thing together, got some paint on it. I'll do a little bit more on the paint later. I'm trying to work on this door for now, so we'll check back in a bit. So this is the mix and match set of camo that I'm using. I just picked up that dark green earth today. I used the Krylon tannish brown, light tan color there, beige or whatever, because I did not like the this brand light, because it was just too light. So I'm using this. I just cut this out from a piece of cardboard and I kind of spray it, rotate, change colors. Alright, so we've got our windows in, and what I did here was I used some pool noodles, cut them down, put them in the bottom, and I did this for two reasons. Number one, because I wanted a nice, soft, quiet spot to put my gun. Rest my gun on here. Good to go, nice and quiet. Number two, we had a little bit of a gap, and I just wanted to close it up just a tad. So at first I had these windows opening in, which, you know, there's really no room at all in there. So I switched it up, and now I have them opening out, and I'll just prop them open. Alright, so we made a little bit of progress here. Got some finishing touches in. Today I'm going to work on the plexiglass window on the door. I'll show you a little bit about my indoor plumbing. I kind of wrecked the back window loading it in and out of the shed there, but we'll fix that later. So here I drilled a little hole and added the 1-inch PVC pipe. I'm going to pipe that to the ground about 8 feet down. Take you inside, show you the urinal. I use one of the pieces of metal here for the the handle, just bent it, hammered it out. Here we go, we have inside, and there's our little urinal, so we don't have to leave the stand. So here's our plexiglass sliding window for the front door, and I took 2 pieces of molding that looks like it has a good track to it that the glass would slide down. I'm thinking about putting a little slider in here to stop this. So the idea is to take this guy, push it down, and you are open for business. Here is the finished product in the backyard, and I just want to say a big thanks to my father-in-law Normster and my bro Nate, and of course Uncle Wayne back there for doing a great job supervising. Thank you guys so much for all your help getting this little shack set up out in the woods where it's supposed to be. I built a 4-foot platform and elevated this thing 8 feet off the ground. What made this install super easy and extra secure was those elevator brackets. If you are building a platform like this, you definitely want to get some of those. There it is, all set up on a hill overlooking a creek bed. You can see the plumbing system which feeds from the urinal right into the ground. Inside I used some spray foam insulation to help cut down on wind and the elements, and I also threw in a shower caddy to hold some hunting gear and of course some snacks. This last season, this little shack paid off as I was fortunate enough to harvest this beautiful 8-point buck as he came down to the creek in the early morning. So there it is, my hunting shack made from 2 IBC totes. I hope to hunt from this thing for many years to come. As always, the links to the items we talked about are in the description below. Hook me up and hit subscribe. Thank you guys for hanging out, and we'll see you on the next one.